Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Square 2 marketing information session regarding building marketing machines. I'm very excited today because the topic of today's presentation is about our new offering, which is the construction of a marketing machine for emerging companies. Today's presentation is meant to give you an idea of this radical change in buyer behavior and how you can develop a marketing program that would match up to that buyer behavior, generate more interest, and of course more sales opportunities for your team. So let's dive right in. The name of this presentation is how to double, triple, or quadruple your sales in 2012. It's an introduction to this new offering that our team has been working on for about 6 months that is a great match for smaller or emerging companies that are looking to implement their first marketing machine. So there's a couple of concepts that I wanted to talk about first that will help you set the table for some of the conversation as why this program could be really effective for your company. The first concept is strategy before tactics. A lot of companies, when they get started, they jump right to the marketing tactics. Build me a website, start an email campaign, let's do some press releases. And really, that's the worst thing that you could possibly do in a marketing campaign. What you really want to do is start with a strategic conversation. And that strategy is so very critical. What makes your company different? Who's your target market? What do you do that's remarkable that people will talk about? Well, those are all components of a good strategic conversation. And when you lock down a good strategy, all of your tactical things should then cascade down from that strategy. For example, a lot of people call Square 2 Marketing every week and they're like, hey, could you help me build a website? And we say, sure, what would you like us to say on that website? Meaning, have you thought about the strategy of your company and what makes you differentiated from your competition? So strategy before tactics is the first thing that you should definitely consider. The second thing is this new buyer behavior. The reason that people aren't getting the response like they used to on traditional advertising like print ads and TV and radio spots is because buyers have changed. Think about yourself. Where's the first place that you would go look for a new vendor for your business? Well, first you might ask the recommendation of a friend or family member, a coworker, or a colleague. And if you couldn't get one in lieu of that recommendation, the second place you would probably go to look for a new vendor is the internet. With just a few keystrokes in Google, you can find pretty much everything that you're looking for. Well, let me ask you this question. If we agree that first people are looking for recommendations or referrals, and then in lieu of that they would go to Google, the question is, why would you consider that your prospects are behaving any differently? And that's why you have to really understand how people have changed their behavior. They're dying for content. They want information. And that goes to our third slide, which is it's all about content. The name of the game has really changed. There's no more getting your name out there. What people really want is great information to help them make a buying decision. Let me contrast a couple of scenarios for you. Take the car industry. All we see still remaining in that industry is $199 a month, 10 sale this weekend only. But what do we really want? Well, I happen to be a dad of a 16-year-old new driver, so I'm looking for information on what's the best car for a new teen driver. But yet my buddy who might be buying a muscle car, he has a completely different set of content requirements. He wants to know how fast is it, how does it rank up against other cars, and how will he feel when he gets behind the wheel of a fast muscle car. Well, there's two different target groups for the same company, and yet the companies are just broadcasting price as their differentiator as opposed to giving us the content we need to make a decision. Let me tell you, if a company would help me select the right car for my teen driver, I would be indebted to them and probably buy from them as well. So once again, think about who your target market is and what content they need to feel safe and make a buying decision with you. And the last concept is conversions equal sales. You got to get people to call you or go to your website, and then you got to convert those people into sales opportunities. And how we do that is by giving them content like we talked about in the slide before. Well, you can't have the white paper on 6 best strategies for a new teen driver unless I give up my email address. That's the conversion, some great information in consideration of getting your contact information. Well, once we have that person's contact information in our database, well, now we can market to them. And we can tell them all the stories why your company is the obvious choice to do business with. When they feel safe and their pain becomes acute because they really need to buy your product or service, that's when they reach out to you and say, I'm ready to talk to someone. So once again, think about converting people into sales opportunities, and that'll go a long way to your new marketing strategy. So when you're thinking about your marketing, think about these 5 important criteria. You want everything you do to be quantifiable. The conversation how marketing used to be an art is dead. Marketing is definitely a science now. We can quantify almost every little touch point along the way. You need to make sure that you're quantifying that so you know what's working and what's not. If it's not working, you either fix it or get rid of it. If it is working, hey, let's double down and spend some more money on that. The second criteria is that you have to change your marketing to be about them, not about you. You need to connect with the people that want to do business with you or want to write you checks. Excuse me. A common malady is that a lot of companies talk about themselves because it's easy. You have to change your strategy to make sure that the target market feels welcome and that you understand their pains and problems. The third is your marketing has to be goal-oriented. If you don't have goals to grow your company or that you need more customers or employees or whatever you're looking to market to, the marketing becomes a little wishy-washy, which means that if you set a goal, you can then design the marketing program to get to your goal. You're looking for things with a high return on marketing investment. You don't want to do an expensive print ad campaign and get a couple of customers from it. You want to get a couple of customers from things like search engine optimization, which let you people find your company for virtually no charge. Those are the kinds of high return on marketing investment that a small and growing company needs because they just flat out can't afford a big marketing campaign on radio, TV, or billboards. And finally, the last thing to a good marketing strategy is that you're positioning your company as remarkable. You're doing things that people say, wow, I've never heard that before, or this is exactly what we've been looking for, and beat the pants off the competition. Trust me, if you have nothing interesting to say about your company, I would highly recommend that you don't spend any money on marketing because nobody's interested in a company that's just like everybody else. Want to do a quick test? Do the scratch out, drop in test. Scratch out your name on your competitor's website, and drop in your competitors' names. If the websites are still the same, you got big trouble because everybody's looking the same. And faced with everybody looking the same, the target buyer just looks for the cheapest possible option, and we definitely don't want to be the lowest cost provider. So think about those five criteria as you consider a new marketing strategy. So now I'd like to introduce you to what we call marketing machines for emerging companies. This is our new offering that helps smaller companies or companies that don't have a larger budget get involved in the marketing game here in 2012. What we build for all of our clients, regardless of size, is a marketing machine. And you can see from this image that the metaphor is very straightforward. If you feed your marketing machine with contacts and website visitors on one side, well then sales opportunities spit out the other side. Just like in a manufacturing facility, raw materials would go on one side and finished goods would come out the other. The other interesting thing about this diagram is that you can see that all the cogs fit together and all of them are turning at the same speed, which means that you have to have a marketing program that's integrated. Nothing can just stand alone or in a one-off fashion, like let's do a billboard campaign and see what happens. That's just a standalone tactic that never gets the results that you're looking for. So today I want to show you 5 different areas that we're going to integrate to make a marketing machine. The first thing that we want to talk about is what is exactly an emerging company, because an emerging company sounds a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Well, the first thing you can look at is revenue level. Usually companies that are pre-revenue or just starting revenue are emerging. And by emerging, we mean they're on their way to getting to where they want to go. Usually, though, at that stage, emerging companies don't have a full marketing department or can't afford one. So revenue level is not the most important indicator, but it is a sign that companies are starting from a smaller revenue level, but they definitely want to be larger. The second thing that would classify an emerging company is that the marketing is a little out of focus. You don't need marketing to start your company. You do need people, you do need some finance, maybe an office to work in. But marketing is usually one of the last things that people implement. So if you're not focused on marketing, then this could also classify you as an emerging company, especially if your goal is to grow the company to be much larger. Do you have aggressive goals? We're a $1 million revenue company today, but we really want to be a $5 million revenue company in a few years. That's the kind of goals that we're looking for to help people build programs that will help them get to those goals. So do you have aggressive goals? That might classify you as an emerging company. However, you can also look at it from a different perspective. You could be a $20 million company that's really looking to be a $30 million company, and you have a very heavy sales effort but not too much marketing. Well, those aggressive goals would also classify you as an emerging company, even though your revenue might be larger than most. Are you involved in old school marketing? Are you still doing traditional things like yellow pages, print ads, telemarketing, trade shows, things that aren't giving the return on investment like they used to? Well, you might be transitioning from some old school marketing into what we call reality marketing, and that would also give you the classification as an emerging company because your marketing is emerging. And finally, the fifth and most important thing is, do you have anything interesting to say about your company? Well, everybody could get started with their company without a very tight marketing messaging package. But if you're not telling the right story, you're not going to get too much traction getting towards your revenue goals. So the secret here is that we want to also help position you as remarkable. Once you have a remarkable story, now all of a sudden you're emerging into the marketing marketplace. So today I wanted to talk to you about the 5 different areas of this new program and how we can help clients like you develop your marketing program. The first thing we want to do is develop a strategy. If you don't have anything interesting to say, don't spend any money on marketing. Developing a strategy is how you get something interesting to say. The strategy, as you can see, is the biggest cog in the machine because everything has to revolve around that. If you have a real powerful strategy, the tactics, things like websites and email marketing and search engine optimization, become quite easy because you know exactly what to do because you've developed that in your strategy. And part of that strategy is being remarkable. For anybody that sat in on any of our previous webinars, you know that Seth Godin's story of the purple cow is really important. You don't want to be a brown cow, you want to be a purple cow. So that if someone's driving by and they notice you in the middle of a field, they stop the car, they jump out, they call their friends, they text all of their associates, they take pictures of the cow, they put it on Facebook, and the word gets out. And before you know it, there's 500 people standing outside the fence looking at this purple cow. Well, that's your job as entrepreneur, business owner, or marketer, is to develop a strategy that's so remarkable people look at you as a purple cow. How we do that is by making sure that we can develop all the different strategic things that you need to go to market, whether it be social media. For heaven's sake, look at all these places that people can be talking about you and how you can distribute your new remarkable story. Or maybe it's bringing your company to a higher level. A lot of companies need a higher mission. People don't want to buy the what's and the hows. They want to buy the whys. A good example is one of Square 2 Marketing's clients called Arbill. Their higher mission is everyone goes home safe tonight. What they do is they sell safety products, gloves, hats, eyewear, and they have a very nice business. But they've taken it to a higher level now by giving this movement of help us get every one of your employees home tonight. And that includes safety training, safety audits, safety consulting, in addition to buy our gloves, boots, and protective eyewear. So once again, as part of a strategy, we'll help you think about your company in a different light and develop your why. The marketing messaging plan is one of the first deliverables of this first section of Creative Strategy. We'll also have monthly strategy sessions to talk about what happened previously, what's going on now, and what's coming up with one of your marketing consultants. Another benefit of this program strategically is that you get access to office hours. Once a week, call in and ask questions to any of our marketing consultants, and they'll be on call to answer your questions or get you the answers that you're looking for. And finally, Square 2 Marketing offers Square 2 University, which is a set of monthly webinars that are educational that usually have a price tag associated with them. When signing up for the construction of a marketing machine for an emerging company like we've been discussing today, all of those webinars become free. Join yourself or join your entire team if it's a topic that's of interest to you, but all of those are complimentary. So that's our first set, which is creating a strategy. The second part of it is telling your story. And of course, the most important place to tell your story is your website. Your website is the keystone to your entire marketing program. You can admit it, we're among friends. Your website probably isn't the best that it could be. Maybe created a couple of years ago, or maybe it's all about you and not about your prospective clients. So part of this program is rebuilding your website, but not just any website, one that's strong in messaging, strong in conversions, and strong in search to match up with that new buyer behavior we talked about earlier. A quick example would be this company that started with a website that was a little outdated. We ran it through some analysis like this website grader, and then we developed some new mock-ups that really tell the remarkable story about this client. We gave them several mock-ups so that different messages could be explored, and that's how the process works to develop a website. But you can see here, wow, look at all the ways that people can interact with this company, whether it be their blog in the bottom right corner, their webinar in the bottom left corner, a list of all their remarkables in the center to the right, or download a white paper on the top right, 9.5 critical athletic field construction mistakes to avoid. With your website, we're also going to recommend a fabulous software platform called HubSpot. And HubSpot has some great tools to it. It'll help you with your search engine optimization, which we'll talk about in a little bit, your social media integration, automated lead nurturing, which will give email campaigns whenever someone comes to your website and downloads something, fabulous reporting and dashboards that you can use, a content management system so you can make changes to your website anytime you want and very easily, and you can even host it for no additional charge as a hosting platform. And if anybody's out there and they're listening and wants a personal HubSpot demo, we will be glad to have one of the HubSpot people set that up for you so you can learn more about this amazing new tool. Here are some quick examples. Some of these companies were traditional companies, just like I'm sure a lot of our viewers are today, but we've had some amazing results helping them get more and more conversions, fill up webinars, and get more sales opportunities. The third section of today's conversation has to do with creating content. Remember, we talked earlier as one of our strategies is that we have to give people information so that they feel safe and they understand that you're the obvious choice to do business with. So in this program, there's a lot of different offers that will help our clients create. One is all about the offers. The trio of offers is the no-risk offer, the low-risk offer, and the direct business offer. All three of these will be fleshed out for you and then being placed on your website. Let's go through some of them now. The first one is the no-risk offer. That's typically a white sheet, a white paper, a tip sheet, a guide, something 1 or 2 pages that you can point clients to on your website and have them downloaded in exchange for their email address. You can see here in this example that Focus USA has a no-risk offer in the upper right corner called 7.5 Secrets to Increasing Response Results by 20%. When you hit the download now, it opens up to a small box and just asks for an email address, and then the website will automatically send out the report to the recipient. It'll also take that email address and put it into your HubSpot database, and now we have more people that we can drip on or market to over time that have indicated some interest in what you have to say. Here's a quick example of some of those no-risk offers or free reports that we create for clients, and at least 5 of these are included in your program. Also, we have a low-risk offer. A low-risk offer is the next level up where someone has to give a little bit more time and attention. In this case, American Athletic is developing a webinar series. Here's an example of a webinar called Hard Metrics. What they do is promote it on their website, in their email campaign, and all of their salespeople are constantly talking to people. Well, you can see here that it's more of a problem-solving conversation that positions Hard Metrics as the obvious choice to do business with. There is no selling, but it's a great way to get people to get closer and closer to your company. We will also put a registration tool on your website so that you can handle all of the registrations automatically. And the tool will also remind people 1 day, 1 hour before, hey, don't forget you signed up for this webinar, and that'll drive good attendance. And of course, we record everything like you see here in Hard Metrics, because if we record it, then we have another piece of content for people to access down the road. Also, as part of our content, we want to give you a blog post, at least 1 per week, to keep the conversation going and help you build more pages with your website. We're also going to do, as I said earlier, 5 no-risk offers, tip sheets, guides, things that people can download that they'll find interesting, and of course, the 1 low-risk offer. A webinar is a typical example, but we can also have you set up a workshop, a free demo, a sampling program, whatever is appropriate for your company. In the next section, you have to get found. People are looking for your company right now on the internet, and if you're invisible, they can't find you. The part of your e-marketing is so very, very important to be found, and some traditional search engine optimization offers you 5 to 10 keyword phrases that you could get listed on page 1 on Google. Well, that's not our goal at all. We don't care if you're page 1 of Google, we just want you to be found. So with our search engine optimization program, you can have 1,000 keywords with heavy, heavy geo-targeting also to find exactly where people are located, whether it's around your business or by specific topics that they're searching for. And it's really important to be found. Here's a company in Cleveland that fertilizes your lawn to make your grass green. And when you use phrases like grass fertilization Cleveland, landscape weed control Columbus, grass fertilization Cleveland, or lawn care Cleveland, they don't come up. And this was a big problem because a lot of people are looking for a lawn care provider on the internet. Once again, we'll take care of that by not only getting the keyword phrases that people are looking for you determined, but making sure that your website is optimized, and when people come to your website, they convert by giving them something like a free white sheet, a white paper, a tip sheet, or a guide. So once again, it's not just getting found, but how do we convert people into sales opportunities? And the 5th and most important area of today's conversation is how do we help people close deals? Well, in this case, we want to do 2 things, both centered around email. In an email marketing campaign, you'll be given 1 email marketing blast per month, full of rich content that will help people understand not only why you're the obvious choice to do business with, but will help them in their jobs. The posture of this program is always, let me help you, let me help you, let me help you, and it's never let me sell you something. And by establishing trust, people start to feel a little bit more comfortable about doing business with you. And you can see here from these emails, they're not about selling, but they're more content-rich with articles and videos that are embedded in the emails. And for most clients, a once-a-month campaign is a really good rhythm. The second part about this is a lead nurturing campaign. When someone comes to your website and downloads your free tip sheet or signs up for your webinar, let's follow up with them and offer them lots of other content that they can experience. Here's a lead nurturing campaign that Square 2 Marketing does if you've ever signed up for one of our things. And on the first day you get one email, on the fifth day you get another email, and on the 10th day you get a third. Once again, an automated way for people to hear your story without having your sales team follow up with them every single time. So that's the basis of our program. Just imagine if your company had all those things we've just talked about over the last 20 minutes. The 5 different areas are each filled with different tactics to make sure that at least on this first stage, your marketing program has all the basic building blocks of a great marketing engagement. So how do we do it? The first thing we do is we build a team. Here at Square 2 Marketing, we usually build a team of about 8 people. They act as your pod. And what's a pod? A pod includes things like marketing consultants, graphic designers, interactive designers for your website, copywriters so you don't have to do the copy, project managers to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So we build a team for each one of our clients, and they become your outsourced marketing department. Each engagement starts with a kickoff meeting. It's usually a 2-hour meeting or conference call, depending on where you're located, and we start to kick off the conversation about how can we position your company as the obvious choice to do business with. We talk a lot about your target market, and we also talk a lot about the services and solutions that you provide, and we start to challenge you if there's a way that we could talk about your company in a different way that might be a little bit more exciting for the visitor or prospect to enjoy. Then we start scheduling some monthly strategic calls. We basically talk about what happened last month, what's going on this month, what's coming up next month. We have an hour of your time that we could really strategize about the company and get your approval on things that are happening. It's a really high-energy call with lots of structure to it. Before each call, you'll get an agenda, and after each call, you'll also get the minutes of the meeting to make sure that everybody knows what each person is supposed to do in advance of the next call. The marketing strategic messaging plan will be done by the 30th day, and that'll be exciting because now you have a whole new way to position your company. And then we'll take that plan with your approval and we'll put it into action by using the tactical things we've recommended in this plan, like building your website, starting your email campaign, and getting you found on the internet. Usually, customers start to see some initial results by the 90th day when their marketing machine starts to sputter to life. But usually by the 6th month of this 12-month engagement, that's when things really start to happen. All the tactics have been built, all of them are wearing together, they've been tweaked and tested, and for the next 12 months, we're just adding more and more content. The next 6 months of the engagement, we're adding more and more content to really give you a very, very potent conversation with prospective and current clients. In the 11th month, we'll have a conversation. What should we do next? And give you some ideas about what you could do in the next stage of the engagement. And finally, the expectations are pretty straightforward. We're really good at marketing, but we couldn't possibly know all the clients' businesses that are out there. So we depend on you to be the industry expert, and we're the marketing experts. And together, both of our companies make a marketing committee of sorts to get you to where you need to go. Expectations are we'll let you coach us on the best way to approach your target market, but please let us make sure that we understand that we're the marketing consultants and we'll help you develop a very powerful plan, just like we've done for hundreds of other clients. So let's recap. Does this sound like you? No real strategy, no content, lots of aggressive competition, a random sales process. People can't find you on the internet. You don't have enough leads. Excuse me, you don't have enough revenue. And you can't get to all the target markets that you'd like to. If your pipeline is very modest, this is a fabulous solution to starting building that pipeline. This solution looks like this. What you're seeing now on the screen is an internal planning document that we use. All the things that we've talked about in today's session are listed down the left side. We're going to help you with the 5 areas, which include creating a strategy, telling your story, creating content, getting found, and closing deals. And all the tactics and all the deliverables are listed right here. Well, planning is half the battle, as my mom used to say. So here we've planned out for most clients a great stepping stone to developing their first marketing program. Now, this marketing program requires a lot of work, both from our team and from you to manage us. But at the end of the day, we're doing most of the heavy lifting. So in order to do a program like this, you have to track and test it to make sure that it's working. And that's a big part of what we do. So once a month as part of our calls, we'll also send you lots of reporting that we'll analyze first to show you some progress. How are you getting found? Comparing month to month. How are you creating content? Seeing who's reading what we're putting out there. Are they reading our emails? Are they reading our blog posts? Do they watch our videos? All those things will be tracked. And finally, getting leads. And this is a quick screenshot of the HubSpot interface where we'll be building a marketing database to take care of all the people that have reached out to you and keep track of who's coming in, what, and where they came from. So once again, tracking and testing is also a big component of this program. How much does it cost to do a program like this? Very straightforward. It's $3,000 per month for a 12-month engagement, and you also require a subscription to HubSpot. HubSpot has a lot of different levels of service. So once we have a conversation with you about your specific company, we'll be able to recommend how much you should invest in what program that HubSpot offers. But typically, clients spend about $400 a month to get all of the HubSpot things like search engine optimization, hosting, content management system, social media integration, and all the fabulous reporting that comes with it. Once again, for about $40,000 a year, you can implement a very powerful marketing program like we've talked about today. So let me ask you this one final question. By implementing a plan like this, how can you not grow your company in 2012 and beyond? And this is a real important shift that you have to make. You have to decide what kind of company you want to be, because if you want to use old school tactics or no marketing all, the chances of you getting to your revenue goals are going to be slim. But if you implement a program like this with all of these 5 areas humming together like a finely tuned machine, how could you not increase your sales in the upcoming year? So what's the next step? I would recommend scheduling a free consultation with a Square 2 marketing consultant today. Sit down with us for 30 minutes, talk about your business. If we could talk about doing business together. If it's not, well, at least we hopefully gave you some great ideas about how you could position your company as being the obvious choice to do business with, and we shake hands and we go away as friends. So I wanted to thank everybody today. Thanks for sitting in. This isn't really a sales pitch, but more of an explanation about what this program is. If you're interested, we'd be glad to talk to you about doing some business together and how we can take your company to the next level. If you want to reach out to me with any questions or concerns, there's my contact information on the screen. I'd be more than happy to help any entrepreneur answer any questions that might help them create the business that they originally envisioned when they started their business first. Thanks again, and for more information like this, don't forget to check out square2marketing.com. We'll see you soon.